Hello, welcome to the blog Malaysia. This is our 29th episode. This is the show for the fans.
By the fans.
Well, Hari, finally, all the games, of the season is officially done. Okay. We are definitely going to be talking about the Champions League final.
Final, yep. What a
In
game.
what
Yep.
what a game, what a win for Chelsea. Congratulations to all Chelsea fans out there. We were definitely very happy that Chelsea beat City. As a United fan, thank God City did not win the UEFA Champions League. So Hari, how are you feeling, man? How are you feeling, guys?
Yeah, I'm really happy because I think we predicted this, right? We predicted this Chelsea victory a few weeks
Yep.
ago.
Absolutely.
I think for me, it was a couple of things. The reason I predicted it was because I felt that Thomas Tuchel had gotten to Pep Guardiola's head. He had beaten him a couple of times. He seemed like he had the tactics to beat him. And so a couple of things. One is because of that. And the other thing was because I wanted Chelsea to win. I didn't want City to win their first Champions League. They've never won a Champions League. And for me, Pep Guardiola is a failure at City until he wins the Champions League, because that's what he was brought in to do. They had won the league before that. So as far as I'm concerned, he's still not a full-blown success at City, because his remit was to win their first Champions League, and he has yet to do that.
Exactly.
So
Exactly, Hari. Do you think like it's becoming like a bottle job for Pep, in the Champions League, for City for like 4 or 5 years, or so? Do you think so?
actually, it's not just for City, right? He's done it with Bayern Munich as well. He didn't win it with Bayern Munich. So I think in total, is it close to 10 years now? He hasn't won the Champions League. Last was with Barcelona. And you know what people say about him not being able to win a Champions League without Lionel Messi? Well, it seems to be true, isn't it? He still hasn't pulled off a Champions League victory, even though he had the best team in Germany. Basically, a Bayern Munich team that could chill out for the final weeks of the season and focus on the Champions League, because they would have won the league well in advance. He's had all the money to throw at City and get all the top players he needs. And he still failed to pull it off in a pandemic year with no crowds, where he's probably had the edge in that sense. And he's still not been able to pull off a Champions League win. So, yeah, man, we're going to dissect a little bit of the game, guys, today. I just do a quick review of the game as well, just to see where Chelsea got it right and where we think Man City got it wrong. So, Ram, what did you think of the game? Just in overall, how do you think the game played out?
To be honest, the first half was a bit cagey. It was exciting. I felt both teams, were really going for it. But to be honest, I was surprised that shots on target were not really, much to be seen. But to be honest, I felt that the second half could have been much better. Should have been more exciting. I think Chelsea had every right to defend their lead, because
exactly.
They had every right to. It's the final, and they knew what City could actually do, because they do have a prowess going forward, with Kevin De Bruyne, Raheem Sterling, what have you. And of course, in defense, they were a solid rock as well. But Chelsea managed to pull through that goal, and what a beautiful goal it was, from Kai Havertz. Well through ball for Mason Mount.
Wow.
And what a player. And of course, those two combining looks very deadly up front. So, amazing first half, but it was a bit of a disappointing second half, to be honest. But hey, end of the day, a win is a win. So well done to Chelsea.
I agree, man. I agree. I think Tuchel got his tactics spot on, and on the flip side, I think Pep Guardiola didn't get his tactics spot on, got his lineup all wrong. And this is what I mean by Tuchel got into his head, because I think Guardiola has got this problem with the Champions League, where he overthinks a bit too much in some games. He has a formula that's worked for him all season, where he plays with Diaz and Stones at the back, 4 at the back, and then he plays with a holding midfielder. It's normally either Rodri or Fernandinho. Yesterday, in a final, he decides to tinker with it and play no holding midfielders. He plays Gundogan. He plays Gundogan, and then he plays Bernardo Silva, and then he plays Kevin De Bruyne. He plays Phil Foden in midfield, not in attack, and then he obviously plays with Kevin De Bruyne as a false 9, Riyad Mahrez and Raheem Sterling. So it was a bit of a shocker, because a couple of things here. One is his defense didn't get the protection they needed with a holding midfielder, which they're used to playing. So to do that in a final, it's not a friendly where you can test the lineup, right? You've got something working for you. To do that in a final, I think is classic Pep, and it hasn't worked for him. So it hasn't worked for him again. That's one. So from a defensive point of view, I felt they lost. I also felt they lost out from an attacking point of view by doing that, because
Yep, I agree.
Gundogan has been one of their top scorers for midfield this year. He scores a lot of goals. He makes some late runs in the box, very Frank Lampard-like. And because he was asked to play a holding role, which is not his normal game, he
And the
couldn't join
final,
in
oh
the
my God.
yeah, he was
Yeah.
not able to join in the attack and do what he normally has been doing this season to great effect. So I thought he got it all wrong. The other thing that surprised me, I think, was playing with Raheem Sterling. He's been off form. He normally plays Phil Foden on that side instead in the last few weeks, and it's worked. So, but I mean, even that is fine, because Sterling is still a good player. But I thought not playing with a holding midfielder and playing Gundogan there affected their game both defensively and going forward. So that was my 2 cents worth from the game. From the Chelsea point of view, man, I think he got it all spot on. But what can I say about N'Golo Kante, Ram?
Oh, man.
What a
Time and time
player, dude.
again.
What
Time
a
and time again.
man of the match in the
Yeah.
semi-final first leg, semi-final second leg, and the final. I mean, a few years ago, he was playing in the second division of the French league, then bought by Leicester, wins the Premier League, goes to Chelsea next year, wins the Premier League, subsequently wins the Europa League, wins the World Cup with France, now wins the Champions League as well. I mean,
He's a winner.
he's a winner,
He's a
but he's
winner.
such a humble guy as well. You know, he doesn't show
Yep.
off, gets on with his job. He's got an old car. He drives a very old mini car, I think. He's got a very humble lifestyle. I just found out yesterday, I don't know if you saw, man, that he eats nasi lemak in the UK. Did you see that? Did you see that? He goes to a restaurant in the UK, that Malaysian food restaurant, and he buys back nasi lemak, and he's been eating it for quite a while. He likes it. So, I mean,
Oh,
I don't know,
wow.
there's something about this guy, man. Maybe it's a nasi lemak factor. I don't know. But
Maybe.
he feels like he's such a nice, livable guy, and he's got two lungs in him. He can run all day back and forth. And I think,
Yep, yep.
I mean, any team that has him is like playing with an extra man. So I thought he was outstanding again. I thought the two fullbacks were really good. The wingbacks, Reece James, I thought cancelled out Raheem
Reece
Sterling.
James. Yep.
He did a great job on Sterling. I thought Chilwell was brilliant going forward on the left-hand side.
Yep.
And then the other one for me who stood out was, we've been speaking about Kai Havertz and the impact he seems to have. He had a good impact, but Mason Mount, I mean, they also were calling yesterday's game a battle between two of England's top playmakers, Mason Mount and Phil Foden. And I think Mason Mount came out on top.
Yep, definitely. Without a shadow of a doubt, Hari, I do agree with you 100%. Like what you said, going back to what you said about how City lost in defense and they lost a bit in attack as well. I mean, it's very clear to me that, if they had a holding midfielder, if they did play that holding midfielder role, I think City would have been much more a threat going forward because of the secured backline. And the fact that they have opened up, on a full attacking side, so many holes were opened up, for Chelsea to exploit. And it's very clear that Chelsea's intent in the first half, seemed to be like they wanted to get the goal first. They were more hungry. They showed more. They were more aggressive,
more penetrative as well.
Yes.
They're passing and stuff.
Yes.
Exactly, yeah.
Absolutely, and I got to give a shout out to Mendy as well. Even though he didn't make much saves yesterday, but I think he was on top of his game. He was very alert. He knew what was happening. He read the game really well. But as you said, Hari, N'Golo Kante, every time you watch him get the ball, he's just always up to something. And you knew, his passing, his awareness, his vision, and of course, he winning the balls in midfield and causing a lot of problems, for City. I think that was just, what a season he's having, and I'm very sure next season, not only for Chelsea, I think a lot of clubs will be very interested to get his signature, as much as possible.
I mean, I don't know, man. I thought they were brilliant yesterday, and the game plan was spot on, right? So, yeah, I think that's fair. I think one more shout out actually was Thiago Silva was playing really well. Got injured in the first half. And Christensen had to come in. Difficult situation still in the first half against Man City. Come play in the center of the three, and I thought he had an outstanding second half and the game. He was really solid at the back there as well. So, I mean, all bodes well for Chelsea. I think they're going to be a formidable force next season under Tuchel, and he's going to spend money as well. So, I think they're going to be a contender, man. Someone that both Liverpool and United will fear next year.
Yeah, and I think now with Chelsea winning the Champions League, it's going to get a lot of traction as well for for great players, big name players that want to actually be part of the club.
Couple
I
with the
want
money, lah.
to
Couple the money they have, yeah.
exactly, and now like what I said in our previous episodes when we were discussing the possibility of Chelsea winning this. Remember I said Tuchel has his initials double T, now it's triple T,
Yep.
treble. Thomas Tuchel. I think it really happened. It really happened against City for him. I'm very happy for him. And of course, but what do you think? Harry, just want to ask you this question. I have this burning question in my mind when it comes to Chelsea. I think Timo Werner has not really been at the top of his game this season. There were a few glimpses of him actually doing really well. There were a few games that he played really well. But overall, do you think he actually fits into this Chelsea lineup? Or do you think he's better off somewhere else?
It's a good question, man. I actually think they should stick with Timo Werner. But at the same time, I think they should buy another striker because I think what they're
Okay.
missing is goals. They create chances, but they don't have a striker that is lethal,
Yeah.
like a Harry Kane or Aguero. So I think they will go out for a top striker, a finisher.
Mm-hmm.
I think Timo Werner could do a good job as a number 10, playing behind the striker or on the flank, as someone coming in, one of the
Yeah,
wide
because of the
forwards coming
space.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yep.
I mean, I've actually been impressed by his game. Like yesterday, I thought he was making some really deep, penetrative runs
Yep.
and causing City a lot of problems actually by making those runs behind their defense. So I think he's really good at that. He's got good pace on him as well. His touch is not
Yep.
bad, but his finishing is atrocious, especially this year. So maybe they work on it in the summer, and he gets more confidence and becomes a better finisher. I don't know, because he was a really good finisher in Germany. But I
Yep.
think they get another striker as well to provide strong competition for him, because right now it's Timo Werner and that's it, because he's not a fan of Tammy Abraham. Giroud is too old.
Yep.
I think he will go out for a top quality striker, and Werner can play across the front three, or in some games play as the number 9 and get the other person rested. So that's what I think.
Yep.
I think Timo Werner will come good next year. Actually, I got a strong feeling about that. If the weight is lifted off him, the burden of being the goal scorer is lifted off him, I think he'll come really good next year.
You could possibly be a good playmaker, of course, in the team. But Timo Werner has a nickname. I'm giving him a nickname. He's always someone who strays offside. So
Yes.
I'm going to call him
Offside Werner.
Offside Werner.
Offside, Mr. Werner.
Yeah.
I mean, you're spot on, man. He does have a tendency of doing that. So I mean, it's a bit of a meme he's become this year. But I got a feeling he'll come good next year, man. Something about the guy. So that's Chelsea, man. We know what they're going to do. What about City, man? Where do they go from here?
In my opinion, I
they've
think
won the League Cup.
Yep.
Where do they go from here? Yeah.
Yeah, it's very clear. Of course, City were favorites going into this game. Because of their, how they finished the Premier League season. Of course, they were expected to win this game, but I think the most important thing for City right now is to realize the fact that they are the strongest side in the Premier League. Losing this final, yes, of course, it's very very upsetting. No one wants to lose the final, but I think what they need to do is they need to basically strengthen. I think their defense is not a problem, but I think they need to have a bit more competition. With better players possibly coming in. Of course, they can afford it, and I think. They need to create that sort of a competition between new players coming in and the current players that they have, because I think Pep Guardiola has relied so much on the players he has put out that I feel sometimes it gets the better of them. And when they go on the field, they feel like, oh yeah, we're going to win this game. We're going to do this. But yesterday it proved that even with Kevin De Bruyne, even with Raheem Sterling, even with Rodrigo, even with those attacking players that they have, they are still lacking that bit, to really lift that Champions League trophy. And I think next season is all about just getting better players, whoever they can find, because they have the money.
I mean, from being a Liverpool supporter, there's one thing I like about it. Of course, like I said, he still hasn't won the Champions League. That's brilliant.
Yeah,
Pep.
yeah.
But also, I hope he focuses more on the Champions League next year, because they've won a lot of leagues now, and he obviously has to win the Champions. So there's more focus towards the Champions League, which maybe affects the team's focus or distracts them from the Premier League, which basically means Liverpool can go for the title against next year. So that's the
Hey, Man United. It's Man United's title next season, okay?
there's no chance.
Liverpool is not going to win next season.
but I mean, let's see. But I hope that distracts them. I hope that distracts them. And yeah, you're right, man. I think City and Chelsea have the same need. They both need a number 9. Aguero is going.
Yep.
They don't have a striker.
Yep.
They were playing De Bruyne as a number 9, a false 9. You can
Yep.
see it clearly doesn't work. So they're going to go out for all.
Yep.
I think they'll go out for a top number 9, maybe a Harry Kane or Erling Haaland Chelsea will do the same. I think a lot of clubs are looking for a number 9 next year, so it'll be a very interesting summer on that front. I also got to say, I get the feeling that there's going to be some changes in City this year. I think people like Raheem Sterling, I think he may sell Raheem Sterling this summer. I get the feeling that they're trying to move on from that squad. He doesn't seem to be starting as often now. I think he's probably going to move on.
Quick question on that, because interesting you mentioned that they might sell Raheem Sterling. Let's of course, guys, who are watching this, we are just speculating because we're just thinking on what could be the possibility. It may not be true, but it's interesting that we are talking about it, so we can possibly get your opinions as well. So do leave your comments down below about this. So staying with Raheem Sterling, Hari, if City were to sell him, okay, where do you think he would go? Let's do a quick one.
Which club do you think? Let's end on that note, like guys. Just so you know, we're going to be covering transfer rumors throughout the summer. We're going to keep you guys updated on current happenings in the transfer world as well throughout the summer, along with the Euros, of course. But yeah, I mean, so if you ask me for a quick answer, Raheem Sterling, if they sell him, they won't sell him to another English club, I think. I actually think a good bet could be PSG.
PSG?
Yeah, I think PSG might be interested in him. I would have said Real Madrid, but I don't think Real Madrid have the money now. They're going through a tough time along with Barcelona. But a team that has the money, maybe PSG could do it as they look for a long-term replacement for Mbappe, who probably will move, maybe not this summer, but next summer. So that I can see happening potentially. I can think off the top of my head. Maybe Bayern Munich, but I mean, but I think Bayern Munich are well stocked up. So yeah, we'll see.
You know what I would like to see? I mean, I know it will never happen, but do you know where I would like to see him go?
Yep.
I would love to see him to go to either one of these two clubs I'm going to mention, either Leeds United or West Ham United. I would really love to see him, in those teams. I think he could contribute so much more, and they could possibly move up the table.
Yeah, there was a rumor that Arsenal were interested in him, but I mean, I don't know how true that is, because I don't know if they have the money for it. But yeah, I mean, interesting summer, guys, on the transfers front. Awesome, Ram. Great review show.
Awesome, yeah.
Brilliant, great game. We both got our predictions right, guys. So you got to trust us when we say, we know the game.
We know the game. Yes, absolutely. So guys, thank you very much, Hari, once again. Awesome show. 29th episode. We're closing in on number 30. Catch that episode, because it's a big surprise for all of you out there.
It's a special one.
Very special for us, and also to all of you as well. We're doing it Malaysian style, aren't we, Hari?
Yes, proper Malaysian style,
Proper Malaysian style. So signing off from the plot from this episode, thank you once again, guys, for watching. Signing off from the plot. This is the show for the fans.
Bye, the fans. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. All right. Bye. Cheers.